Hello everyone, it's Seiji and today I will be talking about the Hunger Games prequel. So some time ago, Entertainment Weekly revealed what the prequel was going to be about, and instead of going instantly off, I decided to take my time and stew on it. So I am here today to give you my calm and collective thoughts. I'm just kidding, let's just jump into it. Now, I read The Hunger Games as a kid and before the movies came out, and I was just completely captivated by the story. I felt the same way about definitely the first book as I presume a lot of people feel about Harry Potter. And so even though I kind of lost interest after book 2, The Hunger Games still is something that is very near and dear to my heart. So I was incredibly excited when I heard that a prequel was coming out. Then it turns out that the sequel is about President Snow's early life. Great. So yeah, I didn't know...
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Did you say President Snow?
Yes, I did.
You mean the guy who was a dictator and poisoned all of his allies?
Yes.
The one who hosted the Hunger Games in which children were forced to fight each other to the death?
Yes, that one indeed.
The dude that killed that entire tribute's family because she didn't want to be a prostitute?
Yep. That's the guy.
You mean the same guy who barbecue fried an entire district committing mass genocide? That one?
Yes, that is indeed President Snow, and the one we are supposed to try and find some type of sympathy for now with the release of this prequel. At least that is what this article is insinuating.
We know Coriolanus to be a villain, a manipulative tyrant, a brutal killer. But what if there was more to him than we knew? What if he could be, as crazy as it may sound, a hero?
Yes, the one who killed my girl Rue and my boy Cinna, maybe, just maybe, he might be a hero. Entertainment Weekly also released an excerpt, and now I am going to try and predict this entire book. Okay. Here it comes. So you have this dude Coriolanus Snow who just has it all. He's a Snow, he's smart, he's rich, and his family is well respected within the capital. But wait, all is not perfect. How could this be? Oh my gosh! Little do people know, Coriolanus is actually hella broke. Anyway, students within the capital are assigned as mentors to the tributes of the Hunger Games. And guess what? Snow gets a girl from District 12. And thus the odds are not in his favour. Because as we all know, District 12 doesn't always do too well when it comes to the Hunger Games. And side note, to shake things up a little, this girl might be related to Katniss? Anyway, he gets to meet this girl from District 12 and things start off a bit rough. You know, with him living the life and she getting prepared to get slaughtered by children within an arena and all. Yeah, things are not great. But then, against all odds, they become friends and maybe even more. And so Snow doesn't want her to die. He tries to save her, but eventually she still dies. The consequences of his deed, however, change the entire Hunger Games. And so it starts to look more like a game show, and the mentors are now from the same district as the tributes. The latter is done as a measure to prevent people from the capital from getting attached to the tributes. Now this entire experience corrupts Snow down to the core, and so he seizes power and becomes the man we all know him to be. Fini! And to be honest, I was a bit shook by this article. It said that this book reveals Snow as the new protagonist, a teenager born to privilege but searching for something more, a far cry from the man we know he will become. Here, he's friendly, he's charming, and for now anyway, he's a hero. I'm sorry, but a hero? This guy. This boy has got Satan written all over him. I can see it in his eyes. I think a lot of us Hunger Games fans were bummed out by finding out about this, but I am still quite hopeful and don't entirely want to believe this article. I mean, yes, this book is going to be about President Snow, but seeing how clickbaity news outlets usually are, I'm not too sure whether he's going to be portrayed as innocent as the article says that he will be. But yeah, I'm really just trying to stay positive here. But I think most of the disappointment doesn't come from the fact that President Snow was chosen, but more from the people who didn't get chosen. I mean, there was so much good material out there. I would have loved to see a Hunger Games prequel about Haymitch, for instance. He was one of my favorite characters and also so mysterious. I think it would have been so cool reading about his experiences in the Hunger Games and him eventually winning. I mean, he won a freaking Prequel. Why would you choose Snow over Haymitch? I honestly feel like you could almost have chosen any other victor and it would have been a more interesting premise. I mean, look at Mags or at Beatty. Also, do you know what would be really awesome? Just an anthology of Hunger Game experiences. Like, not only the victors, but like people who were like doing crazy stuff and then died as well. I mean, that would have been so freaking awesome. And you know, I think the only way that this prequel would have really worked would have been if it was published before the trilogy. Because then nobody would have known what a horrible person Snow would eventually become. And so now it seems like this book might try to retroactively make us find some amount of sympathy for this future mass murderer. And I'm not too hot about that idea. So the big question now is, am I still willing to read this book? Well, I checked my audiobook library and it seems that it's going to be available on the pub date. And so I think I will listen to it when it comes out. And if I have any thoughts, which I'm pretty sure I will have, I will make sure to talk about it in a video. Either way, let me know how you're feeling about this prequel. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. A huge thank you to Klavik, Chris, Diane, Jen, and Tara for supporting me over on Patreon.